What's happening, guys? We just recently got back from a 6-week-long Power Hungry American Shop Tour. Funny acronym. We wanted it to spell fast. So what the whole point of the trip was is we took our 40-foot bus that we purchased for doing the Orion Reflash R&D, and we're converting that bus into a cigar lounge because I've been going to diesel events for the last 20 years. You go to these seminars or schools or classes or whatever, and at the end of the weekend everybody ends up at the cigar lounge. So with the Power Hungry team, we were trying to figure out what to do with this bus, so we're converting it into a 40-foot long mobile cigar lounge. And we drove it across America. We actually drove from Atlanta up to Ohio. We stopped and saw dealers along that stretch. And then we drove out west and stopped and saw some dealers along that stretch. And then we hit up the No BS OBS truck show in Oregon. Had a blast. All along the way, we've got people at gas stations, random Buc-ee's customers wanting to come and check out the cigar lounge. And so we had a really good time showing it off and explaining what we were doing and why we were doing it and promoting the Orion Reflash System. The Orion Reflash System works on any commercial vehicle that has a DT series diesel engine in it. I'll put the particulars in the description of the video below so you can find out if it works on your truck or not. We get a lot of those questions. And so it's basically from 94 to 07, we have tuning for those commercial vehicles. Obviously, people with commercial vehicles are not tuning those trucks to make more horsepower or to go sled pulling or drag racing. That's not our focus when it comes to commercial tuning. The reason we're promoting tuning software for commercial vehicles is from a safety standpoint. If you've got a 40-foot bus and you're trying to merge into a 4-lane interstate, what always happens, and I saw it all along our trip, is everybody in the right lane is making a mad dash over to the center lane or the right or the left lane, trying to get out of the way of this big slow school bus that they don't want to get stuck behind. What the Orion Reflash system allowed me to do was quickly and safely and efficiently merge into traffic. So what would happen is I'd be coming up the on-ramp and I'd be looking in the mirror and I see everybody darting left to get away from me, and I'm doing 80 miles an hour by the time I get to the top of the ramp, and then everybody kind of falls back in behind me. So that's the whole point of the Orion Reflash system on the commercial side. Along our adventures, we talked to some people about that. We had one guy that was wanting to turn his bus into he was turning his into a schoolie, so he's going to turn it into an RV, take his family and young kids out camping. So talk to him about the Orion Reflash system. Hopefully he gets one. And so throughout our adventures, we are stopping at campsites, KOAs along the way, and we found a gentleman in California, Eureka, California, Lost Coast LEDs, super cool logo with the redwood tree. And Sean was kind of our host at this campground while the owner was away, and he just had some really cool hobbies. We got to hang out with him for an evening, and he sent us on the road with some gifts. We took some bourbon smokers that we had on the mobile cigar lounge with us, and we sold them along the way to people at truck shows. We stopped at West Coast Diesels in Santa Rosa and gave some away there, sold some. And so when we showed up in Eureka, California, we just came through the redwoods. Absolutely beautiful part of the state. If you haven't been, I recommend you go. But Sean sent us on the road with some bourbon smokers, and so I want to promote Sean. He's not doing these small scale. This isn't something where you're going to call and custom order one for yourself. But if you've got a company and you want to promote your company in a super cool way, these things are just a cool little trinket you can sell on your site for a couple of bucks. And anybody that enjoys bourbon and a cigar, if you've never had a smoked bourbon, I highly recommend you try it out. And so that's what we're going to demonstrate for you today, is how these things work. Comes with a little jar of sawdust, different flavors, hickory, maple, cherry, apple. And it is literally this simple. Pour your bourbon, set your smoker on top. I've got a little bit of a temperamental lighter, so bear with me. And now you have a smoked bourbon or a smoked old fashioned or whatever you want. Whatever you're drinking, it's just a fun little way to enjoy. I've smoked wines, tons of different things, but these are just a cool little trinket. We will definitely have these on the bus for you guys. Bill's cousin or somebody's making some that have the Power Hungry logo on them. Sean's made us a couple with the Power Hungry logo on them. So if this is something you guys are interested in, let us know in the comments below. And if you've got a company that you want to promote, get a hold of Lost Coast LEDs and talk to Sean. Super good guy. And just get him to make you some. He's doing large orders because he's having to produce these himself, so it's easier for him to chuck it up and fire the laser up, load an image in, and knock out 100 of them. It's not as easy for him to just do 1 or 2 at a time. So if you guys are interested, hit us up in the comments below. And if you want to hear more about our adventures as we travel around the country, we'll make you a video on those too.